Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Planets Through Ascendant series of the week. I know it was quite late in the week because, I had guests come over. I've got prodigies come over at my house. I had little Parashar come in and mega stars of astrology come in. So, I got delayed. So, today we're going to be talking about what Sun position does in the second house, in the sign of Capricorn, for Sagittarius ascendant people. And especially, as you know, for Sagittarius ascendant, Sun rules the ninth house, which is a house of father, teachers, preachers, counselor, advisors, pilgrimage, long distance travel, postgrad education. So, this is the house that really shows, and especially this is the house of fortune, luck, dharma. The ninth lord now goes sixth from itself in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, which represents government, administration, iron, steel. It represents duty, commitment, sacrifice. So, and then you have the second house itself giving its energy. Second house represents family, lineage, food, speech, wealth, earning, savings, fame. And ninth house is ruled by the sign of Leo. So Leo represents our dynamic self-expression, represents children, creativity, government. It is part of our heart chakra. So this is what this dynamic is doing. Okay, so now you're putting the Lord of the ninth house, Sun, which rules the sign of Leo, in the second house in Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by who? Saturn. So let's discuss this dynamic. And if you're new to my channel and you do not know where your Sun is placed, what house it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the other astrological details for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology Conjunction Aspects and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. Let's get started. So, what is this dynamic doing? Well, first of all, you got to realize Sun represents the father, authorities, government, okay, fame, exactly what the sign of Capricorn represents. So you're bringing these two energies together now. And what this shows us is that, first of all, your ability to earn money, your ability to create something of value will be heavily influenced by your father. Father is an extremely authoritative person. Father who becomes this governing dynamic within your family. Like he is the one who kind of sets what the rules are, what the laws are, and what happens when you break them. Father is very adamant about certain things being a certain way. Like if something he left at the table should be left the way it is. If you remove it, there will be hell to pay. This also shows that through the father, one will ultimately have to make a sacrifice on behalf of family members due to the father. Like due to something that a father has done or did, you will have to also make that sacrifice. There will be a lot of commitment that you will have to make to your family, to the people that are living with you, as part of your, reason to be born. Like I'm committed to my family because I need to give them this amount of money every month. That's my duty, that's my commitment. This shows that one's ability to understand dharma comes from very strict teachers, very strict father. Like whenever you get teacher, whether you get a teacher of astrology, whether you get a teacher of the Vedas, whether you get teacher of physics and mathematics or IT, they're kind of like no-nonsense type of people. They don't want to laugh. They don't want to have fun. They're about actually doing the work. It's about duty. The great thing with this is a person learns value in such a hard manner that they never forget. And this is why these people make great politician and government workers, especially when it comes to giving yourself in service to government. You feel like it is your righteous path. If other combinations are there, let's say trying to make you an actor, well, eventually you're still going to follow that path of politics and government. And yes, because of the fact this is a sign ruled by Saturn, your values are very old. Your father's value are very old. Like, it's not even like something that you follow traditionally in the modern times. This is like very old traditional values that father's trying to bring in the family. Now, obviously, there could be many problems with this sun. If obviously you have a connection of a malefic planet, Rahu, Ketu, Mars, Saturn, or multiple of these things, then you most definitely will butt heads with your father because of the fact you're trying to break tradition with Rahu. Father's trying to implement tradition with his Saturnian and Sun nature. This also shows that a person's wealth comes slowly and steady. Like they say, slow and steady wins the race. This is how this person's wealth is. They want to earn wealth in such an honest manner where they're okay if they're making a little bit. Because by the time they retire, they feel like, okay, well, I have sufficient amount of money that I have earned honestly. Like, this is one of the position, unless you're born in a business family, most of the time these people are all about service. They're all about wanting to have they feel like they need to have a boss above them. Because of the fact throughout life, they had the father above them that they followed. And they would still follow till his last breath. They naturally feel like they have to follow somebody above them. This also shows that whenever father gets sick, you tend to feel less fortunate and lucky in your life. Why? Because ninth lord, father, is now sixth from itself. Sixth house. And so you will notice, like, anytime father is not feeling good, not feeling well, then you just feel like, oh man, why is it that I suddenly feel not as lucky and fortunate? This also shows if you are trying to get a post-grad education, higher education. Obviously, I'm not talking about any other planetary placement or aspects. But I have seen people who always tend to, and again, this is all depends on the culture. See, astrology is such a crazy matrix that it'll take you a lifetime to figure out, because most of the readings, let's say, that I do, consultations that I do, is of people, from India. And when they have this position, or that I have seen, and quite a few times, believe me on that, they usually try to attain higher education in mechanical engineering. Or they would try to attain education in fields of civil service. Like they want to, like they have done their bachelor's, even master's, but they now want to pursue UPSC civil service exam. So why is it that this person is so attracted to learning higher education related to economics and government? Because of the fact ninth house of higher education is now Sun. Sitting in the second house of value, money, which is also economics, banking, and the sign of Capricorn of government. Now, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to comment here and say, well, can I become an IAS officer? Well, you got to understand, if you took 1,000 people who give test, USBC test with Saturn or Sun in the second house in Capricorn, I would probably say maybe 2 or 3 will become IAS officers out of that. Why does it, what else matters when you're trying to become the civil service servant? Well, in my personal opinion, first of all, you want to look at the dispositor of the Sun, which is Saturn. Where is Saturn placed? Which sign is Saturn placed in? Okay, that will show you how strong the foundation is of the Sun, which is called dispositorship. You want to look at, obviously, the position of Sun and Saturn both in your Navamsha chart. Are they in good signs? Are they in like strong signs like Capricorn and Leo? But then the most important thing that becomes, and I will talk about this probably sometime this year, is how strong is the Ashtak Varga points given by the planet Sun to your entire houses, your 12 houses, and how the planetary position or how are the calculation of Ashtak Varga score, the mathematical score is 11th from Sun and Saturn and 6th from Sun and Saturn. Very, very important for government and politics. You want to see how high is 11th from the Sun, because what are you trying to do? You're trying to work for government. That means government has to give you money, right? Gain, whether it's gain of authority, respect, money. So you want to see from the Sun, how much gain do you get? Same thing, if you want to see how much money you will get from your father, or will you get money from father, look at the Ashtak Varga from the Sun. If you receive high points from 11th from the Sun, through government, through father, you will gain money. 6th house represents service. Why do they call it government service? 6th house is service. So you want to see, are you capable of giving your service to a higher authority? And Saturn naturally represents administration, because you're doing a lot of administrative work, government administration. That's why I think they call it, what is it called? Indian Administrative Services, IAS. So this is why 11th from Saturn and 6th from Saturn becomes important. But like I said, many of the time, and especially in US, obviously I've never had a single person I've done a reading of who said, well, I am so looking for working in a government and I want a government job. I don't think I've ever had it. See, if I have to say this, that means I really didn't have it, because I would know. But in India, my goodness, I would say probably 5 out of my 20 consultations a week would be about, can I become an IS officer or IPS officer? So this is why I have to add this. Now, in US side, this position of Sun in Capricorn usually always brings interest in law and banking, or like somebody who may go into like learning about economics. But naturally though, this is a person who is very honest. Again, I'm saying this without looking any other aspect or dispositorship of Saturn. This person is very honest in terms of their earning money. Like if they do business, I feel like they'll be so honest that they will probably lose a deal. Because when you do business, you have to be clever, you have to be smart, you have to know how to get the deal in your favor. So usually this person is more about honesty, more about making a living through some righteous manner. You may also see priest with this Sun. I don't know if I have ever come across, I'll have to check my database. I don't think I've ever come across who's in religious activities. It's more so about actual practical earning money. But one thing is just for sure, man. I mean, your interaction with the father is on a very, very serious tone. Like either your relationship is quite distant because of his strictness, or you are very strongly influenced in a very dharmic manner through your father. Father is a very well-respected person in society. When father walks in the house, everybody probably just becomes quiet. It's like a president walking in a room and you're like, oh, okay, he's there. It's like that respect, you may call it respect. I think it's more like fear, because Saturn is fear. So when a person with this position, their father walks in a room or walks in the house, it's more like the fear comes in. Oh my God, I hope he doesn't say anything to me. I hope he doesn't like hit me or something. Okay, so guys, this was my analysis of Sun in the second house for Sagittarius Ascendant people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Sun is placed, all your other astrological details, my books, reports, readings, for that check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.